You want to know what I love about the internet? I'm willing to bet you already know the answer to that question. If you answered either the ability to express ourselves about whatever and to whoever we want, you are correct. The internet is like this Wild West sort of thing. We can do whatever we want with it. You can use it to be productive or use it to waste time. Sadly, the whole Wild West aspect of what we love so much about the internet may go away. You know what I'm talking about. Of course you do. You've read the title. And I can guarantee I'm not the first person on the internet who's informed you about this. The FCC, once again, is trying its hand at making net neutrality a thing of the past. Why is that? Well, if you're smart enough to see through the outright lies the FCC is pushing, saying this whole act is meant to restoring internet freedom, then you already know why the FCC is doing this. Money. It's all but to further corporate interests and to line pockets of old men who couldn't care less about the internet. Like, for example, if net neutrality was no longer a thing, Comcast, the very same company the FCC rubs shoulders with, can simply control internet speeds to destroy competition. And instead of simply paying for the same internet bill you've been paying for years, you'll be paying for something along the lines of bullshit cable packages that cable companies have been pushing for years. This isn't the first time internet freedom has been under threat. But it sure as hell won't be the last. No matter how many times this happens, be it the first, second, third, or fourth time, it still scares me as much as it did the first time. Because if you're like me, you grew up with the internet. We may have watched TV from time to time, but once we discovered the internet and what it can do, there was no going back. The internet is now the new TV. As more kids grow up with the internet, the more old media becomes a relic of the past. We are no longer limited or restricted. Like, if you want to watch a movie, it's on demand. You don't have to look at time codes anymore. You want the news? Instead of watching the same bullshit that's been peddled to us for years, we now report the news to each other. I can list tons of other great examples about what an amazing time we're living in, but you get my point. We all have something great in the palm of our hands. Literally. It is something that must be preserved for future generations, and if you want to hold on to it, contact Congress if you live in the US. But if you live outside the US like I do, click on the link below in the description. I'm the Canadian, and I hope the internet I know will still be there to greet me.